So this is one more example from 7.5, and these are talking about congruent parts of parallel lines. And here you can see we have a triangle, and we have two parallel segments, and we can see these parallel lines, they cut this segment into two congruent parts. And we can kind of use this theorem to understand that, so if we have these two parallel lines and we have these two congruent segments, and if these lines are parallel, then these segments will be congruent as well. We can then use that to make a ratio out of these two segments and compare them to the ratio of these two segments, right? And really, we can use that idea to solve for y. So what that means, and on these problems, what you'll do is you just make each one of these sections equal to each other, and then use algebra to solve for what y and x is equal to. So here we have these two sides saying they're equal, so we can then solve that. 3y equals 1/2 y plus 20. And then we will just solve it, so we'll just do this whole side by 20. Not 20, but 2. And this side by 2. So we get 6y, this will cancel, but then we'll have y, and that will equal plus 40. Okay? And then we would just do minus y, and we'll have 5y equals 40, and then have y equals 8. So then we did the y, so we know this is 8. So this would be 24, we plugged it in. This would be 4 times, what is it? Half of 8 would be 4. Wait, it would be 8. 1/2 of 8 is 4. 4 plus 20 is 24. So they're both 24, right? So then we can do the same thing on the other side. We can make them equal to each other. So then we go 20 minus 3x equals 2x minus 5. So then we're just going to use algebra, right? So we're going to maybe add 3 over to this side. That'll give us 5x. We're going to add 5 to this side. Gives us 25. And then that's going to give us divided by 5. X equals 5. And then we can plug it in and see. So 20 minus 3 times 5 is 15. This would be 5. And then we have 2 times 10. 5 is 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. So they're both 5. And that is how you do this. Just make them equal. We know this through the idea that these are congruent sides, so they should be equal to each other. We also know that we can assume that even though it doesn't state that these sides are congruent, if these are two parallel lines and these sides are congruent, these sides are congruent as well. So hopefully that helps you. If you have any questions on that, and see you in class.